Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, officially from the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association, amongst many other hats, Elaine Mayfield is with us. And then also joining us is our Leadership Roswell Alumni Association Alumni Award winner for this year, Laurie Dudek with us. Good morning. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
First off, congratulations. I know for a fact this is an honor well deserved.
Thank you.
Just like all of our other Leadership Roswell Alumni Award winners this year, it wasn't difficult choices. We had some good people that came up, and you were right there at the top of the list for the alumni. So I guess first, because I know you, and of course Elaine knows you and all that. Maybe we should let the public introduce. I know you because obviously you work with the city. You've worked with Leadership Roswell. You wear many hats as well.
I do.
What do you think most people know you for right now? For what hat you're wearing right now? I'm guessing.
Hopefully with the Department of Health.
All right, the DOH hat.
The DOH hat. That's my new hat.
Yeah, that's your most recent day job hat.
Yes, but in all honesty, I'm sure it's Parks and Recreation. I was there 28 years.
Yeah, you did there. So when you're there 28 years, people tend to remember.
Yeah. Yes, and that will always be near and dear to my heart.
Sure.
But now the Department of Health is just a continuation. I just felt like it was a continuation of the work I had started.
Sure.
And just spreading, to more people instead of just Roswell. I oversee 8 counties.
Yeah.
So about 250,000 people. We're trying to encourage the importance of good health.
Yeah, you're getting a bigger audience.
Yes, we are.
Although I've got to ask,
yes.
As many years as you spent in Parks and Rec.
Yes.
How excited would you have been had you been still running Parks and Rec when the Aquatic Center and everything, now that it's in full force? Would that given you a lot more things in your job that you would have loved to try to play with? Or you're kind of like, I kind of like this better,
Actually, it was kind of surreal, because I was there, Elaine and I both started back in the beginning,
right.
And you're talking with Kim Elliott, the Parks and Recreation director that retired, back in 2012, 2013. But when I started back in, in the 80s, actually, Kim Elliott had talked about getting an aquatic center.
Right.
And it went on to the vote, I think, 3 times and failed. And so honestly, that journey, this whole journey, I kind of felt like Moses, going to the promised land.
Because you saw at the very beginning
the concept. I was not a believer.
Okay.
I really did not. I was not a believer that it was not going to. I never believed it would happen. In my tenure, that we would ever get a new recreation facility. Mm-hmm. And then we had, who was the city manager before Joe Nebb? Oh, it was
there was
Texas.
like a year. There was like a year left in between there.
Steve Polasek.
That's it.
He came up with this idea, a way to find very creative financing, and he figured out a way to do it. And it was a beautiful journey to be able to be there when it opened.
Sure.
I wasn't able to work in there, but just to see it, and be completed.
Now you can come as a guest.
Yes.
You just roll in and be like, where's the towels? I'm ready to go.
Wonderful. Someday I'll be able to tell my grandkids, you know what, I was at the Yucca Center, and now this new facility, was built.
Sure.
And it's something to be Roswell should be very proud of.
Absolutely.
It's beautiful.
And I would say whether Laurie's wearing her city hat or her New Mexico Department of Health hat, either one will tell you, please go out there and utilize and support the Recreation Aquatic Center. You and your family utilize it very much. It's there for your health and your fun and recreation and safety and everything else. And they keep adding and creating new programs and things for families to be a part of out there. I know now they're really going heavy with the bicycles and the trails and things.
And that's, again, Department of Health.
Yeah.
We support whatever they're doing. And I think that's the beautiful marriage, I think, between the two.
Yeah.
Elaine and I are probably Roswell's biggest cheerleaders. We really are. She with the zoo and the years that she poured into that to get it to where it was. And then on my side with recreation, and then just moving forward, whether in retirement or whether moving on to another profession. It doesn't really matter. We just want people to realize just how blessed they are to live in this wonderful town, be able to wake up to you in the morning and enjoy all of the benefits. But that's really what it's about. Don't you agree, Elaine?
Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
We're lucky. We have a great community.
Yes.
We have great people, not just like yourselves, but we have a lot of other people that really step up and help out in this community. And really, that's what Leadership Roswell is all about. I mean, you two, all three of us are graduates here. We know the value of that program. We know Rick Kraft and what he has done with that program for many, many years now. And it is not only the pride of Roswell, but really the pride of the state of New Mexico.
It really is.
But to me, that's why when we talk about these awards, like yourself and General Murray and Amy and Jane and our winners here, these awards, this is the cream of the crop. We have so many great volunteers that year in, year out, day out, they just show up to events and help plan and work. And you two are amongst those groups of people. So for me to really see that for you guys here, it really is a big deal because I'm not going to lie, we have a lot of great people here, and it's really hard to say who's great and who's just great and who's really great, but they're all great. And I wish we could give awards to a lot of these people because there's a lot of deserving folks. But I know you and every one of this year's. There's not one weak link in that group. It's just an amazing group of people
and a very varied group.
Yeah,
and also a very quiet person or two, and a very vocal person or two.
Sure.
And that's nice too. And the community leader awards to me are so important.
Sure.
I've been doing them for a long time. I graduated in 95, 96.
That's when we started them, right?
Yeah. And
so in the 90s.
So we've been doing them a long time, yeah. And I think the very first one was 98.
Okay. So let me ask you, Laurie, because how long have you been involved with Leadership Roswell?
26 years.
26 years.
And actually, I was on the founding committee of the awards.
Okay. So
yes. So, Heidi Sims, my former, boss, she was the president of the Leadership Alumni Association.
Okay.
Right.
Yes. And so we started the awards specifically for that in mind.
Sure.
To honor, especially my favorite of all of them was the I don't even know what you call it, the Distinguished Leader Award. It's the person, that has been in Roswell, like a Mayor Brainerd.
Sure.
These people, Bobby Vegas, all of these type of people that help,
Sure.
they're like our founders of our town.
That stoic tree in the storm that just stays there no matter what.
I remember I went and spoke to Rotary years and years ago, and I remember, it's not very often that I'm a speechless, believe it or not. I was speechless.
No.
I know, believe it or not, it was back in 1996. I remember that.
It happened
in
once.
1996, one time in my life.
I had nothing to say.
Because I was at Rotary, and it was when Rotary was at the Sally Port Inn.
Okay.
And they had, almost 200 members, I think, at that time. And I remember walking up to the podium. I was going to be talking about Party on the Pecos, and I looked out there, and I saw, Mayor Bill Brainerd and all of these amazing people that were the testimonial of they're the ones that bred life back into this town when the Air Force left.
Sure.
I remember just going,
yeah, we thought.
I was in honor of royalty.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to talk? But it was so amazing because these people are the ones that made it. Now we have a whole new, like the Rick Crafts and these people that have given, their time and thank you. But given so much, and to have them, it's just an honor. Actually, I'm very humbled that they would even consider me because I'm not worthy. There's so many amazing people.
That's exactly why you're worthy, because you said it right there. That's because yourself and the other recipients of the awards here. They don't do it for this, and that's what it's about. Every single one. This is one thing I think I could safely say you have very much in common with our other winners here is you have a passion for wanting this community to be a great place and good things coming out of this community and good people coming to make this community home.
Yes.
That, you have that same passion, and even though we all don't agree on everything on how, we need this or that would be great, we all share the same sense of pride in our community and want it to be better and want others to see what we see in it and to be committed to that. So for you to stay committed for just a couple years.
3 decades.
Hard for a lady in her late 20s like yourself to do all this for 40-some years. But it's amazing to, for yourself and to be honest, these awards, they're great. They're awesome. We love doing it, but it doesn't truly do justice for the amount of great things you and the other recipients do for our community.
I do want to say that when Rick and I talked. We got to nominate Laurie, and then we're looking at the categories and like, well, which one? The only one she didn't fit in was the Lifetime Achievement Award. You have to be 75.
Thank goodness.
She got like 20,000 years before that's gonna
Certainly commitment to youth. 27 years in the
I think
recreation
that would
department.
qualify.
Certainly outstanding leader.
Oh, thank
of all
you.
she's done.
Sure.
But we kind of chose the Leadership Alumni Award, which is how much you have done for the actual organization.
Sure.
From setting up for many years to actually setting everything up
Yeah.
and being Rick's right-hand person.
Y'all are going to make me cry.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
Let's change
to
the
this day-
subject.
To this day, she still teaches classes as part of the
Right,
Leadership
right.
Roswell every year. So she's connected and a part of Leadership Roswell every single year.
Absolutely.
And still, there's and let's face it. There is a huge amount of alumni as part of the Leadership Roswell
There's
alumni
close to
stage.
1,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very a large group of people, and so to have someone in that large group of people that be that active, she's like, you cry, you do your thing. We're gonna keep bragging on you. You keep bragging, we're gonna just keep going.
There's a tissue right there.
You keep going, but and so that's I just want to put that in perspective to
absolutely.
people. There's a lot of people that have called this class great and everything, but Laurie really is she heard the message afterwards, and this ain't the reward. This is just the beginning.
And I think that's the beauty, I think, of
yeah.
Leadership Roswell is that Rick, and it is, I wanted to call it Leadership Rickwell. Because he's such a, the work he does is so amazing. And what I try to empower the students every class is to just tap in to their talents and their traits and their strengths and move forward, because that's all Rick really does. Leadership Roswell just challenges you to give back.
Absolutely.
And then when it's all said and done, yes, you're going to learn these fabulous things about this community, what makes it, so unique and so diverse, and you're going to be inspired.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, the goal is to give back.
Absolutely.
And become our leaders.
And the creation of the connections.
Absolutely.
After that class, you feel so connected.
Oh,
Sure.
yes.
You're part of something.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
So let me ask you this, because obviously, you've been very familiar with this community for a long time, Leadership Roswell for a long time. Now you're kind of on the more mentor side than the other side here. But let me ask you, when your time coming up, going through Leadership Roswell and things, what were some of the biggest assets, some of the things you took away from it that put you where you're at today? Because obviously there's some of it rubbed off on you as
it
well.
definitely did.
What were the things that stood out for you and your time there the most?
When I went through the class, and it was 26 years ago, I only had one daughter, and she was 3. And now I have 2 daughters during that time. And now the oldest, that was 3 at that time, she is going to, I'm going to cry again.
It's all right. We got plenty of tissue. We got
This is
boxes
normal.
in the other room. And I got like 12 boxes in the other room if you need it, so we're good.
So honored and so proud, because Leadership Roswell, as a mother, I wanted to inspire my children, and they're my greatest accomplishment. And then I changed jobs. It taught me how to take risks. Rick Kraft believed in me, and he believes in every one of those people to become the best version of themselves. And that was then also, I went through a very tough time in my life, and now to be able to share it with somebody, at this time in my life, I'm going to be having my 4th wedding anniversary coming up. And
congratulations.
Thank you. And so I've been through so much, and I think it was the friends that I've met, one thing, and then you think, okay, that's all personal. Well, I'm a horrible driver.
Yeah.
And you're going to wonder why. When I'm a horrible driver, and I tell the story that, I wreck, because I don't pay attention, believe it or not. And so I wrecked one day, and when I wrecked, this lady was so mad at me. But she was my fault. I had to take full. But I have insurance, and I had insurance with a Leadership Roswell, member. And so he's like, Laurie's fine. And then, the police went by, and I had a police officer in my class, and he stops, and he talks to me. And then the fire department guy came by, Homer Trujillo, I think is his name. He stops and says, Laurie, I think you better get in my vehicle, because she's going to beat you up. And And then he says, I need to get going. And then the Excel guy, he was with Excel, he came by. And then I had to call my pastor, who's also in Leadership Roswell. Then I called Rick Kraft. Rick Kraft's my attorney. And I said, Rick, this lady's going to jack me up. So, that's just one way how, Leadership Roswell has a ripple effect.
Sure.
And I also, like the UFO festival, that's just one thing that comes to mind. If you wanted to have a festival, you can contact those 30 members in that class, and every one of you can help you, pull it off.
Sure.
And I think, again,
it does have a extended family vibe to it, where it's kind of like it's. Now, I'm not going to compare it to the military or anything like that, but there's still that same
friendship,
camaraderie style to it, where you understand, like, if you've been to the program, you kind of understand where everybody's coming from, kind of thing. It makes it, even if you don't know them directly, you kind of know the cut of their jib a little bit.
Yes, you can call them. If you need something from, in any realm of that, you can contact them. Yeah, this year's class, we were talking earlier about this year's class. This year's class has more teachers than I have ever seen in all of these years. Good. And of those teachers, I think there's like 5 or 6. They've all have received the Teacher of Character Award.
Oh, nice.
I mean, just stellar, just amazing, absolutely amazing.
It's funny how each class has its own
different personality.
It does. Yeah, you're right. But and it really is it's a who's who of our Roswell's greatest. That's what it is. And it's an honor to be selected, but it's more of a responsibility than an honor. And what I mean by that is, you're in essence put in, because of your achievements and your desires to, it's one of those things. It's like because I've been a part of the process of selecting and everything, so I'm a little familiar. It's not so much, you get a little bit of both, because you get some people that are just uber involved in the community already, and they've been doing it for years. It's like, all right, it's time for you to kind of come and interact that stuff with the rest of us here. But then you also get people that are just busy people that are new to the area and may not know anything. So Leadership Roswell for them is almost like an introductory to our community. So it's different things for different people. But at the end, we all come out with the same goal of, because when you graduate, it's not like congratulations. It is, but it's like, okay, now you congratulate. What are you doing with? We just gave you the tools to help the community. You better not sit on your butt and not do nothing. Let's get out there and get involved with things in this community you're passionate about.
Don't just let it sit there. Also this year, what I thought was interesting is there's 2 retired individuals. So we had one person that was 25, and then, just getting, he's an attorney here in town, just getting started.
Yes.
Then you have the ones like you said. Then we have these retired individuals. Joe Nebb, our city manager, he went through the class.
He did. Same year I did, matter of fact.
And his wife, Beth, is in this year's class.
Oh, cool.
And she's retired. So it's really unique. I think our Mayor Kintai also went through the class. He's a graduate. He's president of his course.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
It's kind of a who's who. That odds
it really
are pretty
is.
good. If you look at some of our community leaders.
Our city councilors and our county managers and our pastors.
Some of them coming in from out of town hired Joe Nebb. Several of those, we immediately were like, you've got to do this. And it's such an introduction.
Actually, one I can think of is Dr. Powell over at Eastern.
That's right.
He was in my class, too. And matter of fact, he was just hired that summer that the class was getting put together.
He just moved here and got in.
Right.
Yeah, and the Eastern NMUR is a fine example of a huge supporter, and NMI as well. They always have these businesses every year. They put one of their or 2 of their employees
staff
in.
Or an alum or somebody's part of that.
You ought to read the nomination forms, like General Murray. I did not know him.
Oh, wow.
But my gosh, the resume was incredible.
Absolutely.
It's just,
it really is.
It's a gift.
It's a collective group of great people.
I really I try to tell people that Leadership Roswell is a gift to yourself.
Sure.
People say, "Oh, I can't give a Friday out of my month to this." Oh, you can't afford not to.
Absolutely.
Because you're going to get you're going to hit that burnout wall sooner or later.
Absolutely.
And this will help you get.
And this is it's a program that. It's education, but it's also, it really is a lot of different things for a lot of different people. And what I mean by that, like you said earlier, you've got people that are kind of just starting into the world here, and others that are a little more seasoned into that world. But all of them come for different reasons. Like I said, maybe it's, they're new to the community. They want to learn about the community, get involved in the community. But like you said, retirees that you're starting a new chapter in your life. In some cases,
so she's busier now than she ever been.
In some cases, you get more free time, and you have like Elaine here, who by the way, when she's not doing Leadership Roswell, she's doing Historical Society, she's doing Galacticon. I mean, I'm just scratching the surface. There's a bunch of stuff. So she's probably busier now than she was when she was working.
I always say I
day job. You know?
I do things in the daytime I used to do at midnight.
Now she used to sleep at night. There's the difference. But and that's where Leadership Roswell comes in. I think it enters in different people's times in their life, and it's beneficial for all of them. And it forces you to look at things differently. It forces you to do things that may or may not be part of your comfort zone. That's all a part of leadership. And that's what the program does. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about leadership.
Yes.
But I feel like there's so many symptoms and side things that you gain from it that I'm not even sure if leadership's always the important, like it is because it's Leadership Roswell.
But it's more
there's
than
so
that.
many other messages and things that you can take away so much more and then be like, well, what leadership did I gain? And you just gained born didn't realize it. It's just because most people think leadership's learning how to lead people, and that's part. That's just that part, but
it's also learning to use that leadership in the hard times.
Yeah,
which we've had, and that's at the point where sometimes you have to stop and think.
Sure,
I've got to show leadership at this point.
Well, and it because as a leader, you have to see from all angles,
right?
And this program forces you to see things from other perspectives other than your own, and an effective leader has to be able to do that. And I think that's something you take away from it because. I mean, you learn about the community, but we have certain conversations that are intentionally awkward. It's subject matter that you don't feel comfortable talking about with a group of strangers in a room or a group of people you barely know, for that matter. And it forces you to deal with those issues in a adult, professional way. By the same time, able to get out your passions and the things that are important to you.
Yes, I think it really it's like hitting a reset button on your life as a parent. Really, leadership is not just at work; it's at home. And it's wherever you go.
Sure.
And
absolutely.
I think it's definitely an attitude. It's a way of life, and I think just more of a vision of just becoming a better you.
Sure.
Is really what it is to me, and I think that's where Rick really challenges people. To be the wind beneath others' wings, and to strive, and even if you fall down, to get back up and keep trying.
Just keep moving forward. Life's going to hand you things. I don't care who you are or where your background is, what you're from. There's going to be obstacles and things in your life that you're going to question whether you can navigate or overcome or do it effectively. And Leadership Roswell not only gives you tools to help you understand, I can do this, but gives you the tools to legitimately skin the cat in more different ways. And what I mean by that is it's not always bull in the china shop bull. Sometimes you got a little finesse. Sometimes you got to be the listener instead of the talker. Sometimes you got to be the follower instead of the leader. And that's where leadership. And that's, it's the gamble. I use this reference all the time, but it's really the Kenny Rogers of the gamble. You got to know when to fold them, to hold them, to walk away. That's leadership.
That's what? Leadership. That is. And again, for all those people out there that are in jobs and are uninspired, leave the job.
Yeah.
Leave it. You need, life is so short.
Sure.
And if you're unhappy right now, then find your happiness.
Yeah.
Don't stay there another day
Sure.
and dread going to work and not being happy because, this is what we're supposed to be doing. So if I could, my message today would be definitely, spread those wings.
Sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Do what makes you happy because you're going to help more people doing
yes.
it. Yeah.
Be
Absolutely.
inspired.
So I got just out of curiosity, what's next for you? I mean, is it just keep beating to the drum, or do you got bigger plans, different things coming on the horizon here? Or?
I don't know. I want to survive this pandemic.
That's a big goal. You're right. I want to get through this mess first.
I will say your timing is impeccable.
You know what? I tell you what. I started 2 months before the pandemic.
Yes, exactly.
I was like, "What the heck is a pandemic?"
What better person to have in that position?
Yeah, exactly.
And my advice to everybody out there is wash your hands. If you can wash your hands, that would help. I mean, that's where it all begins.
And I know that we live in a political world. And there's a lot of politics here, but But common sense does prevail on
it
things.
does.
You think it's a good idea. Well, is it a good idea when you do everything else? And it's probably going to be a good idea for this too. The mask wearing and things. I know we have the arguments, and it's like, is that really where you want your fight? If someone's saying, please put your mask on, is it really worth the hassle, the headache, the potential fallout from that, or it's just shut up, put your mask on, and go about your day? I agree, disagree, I don't care. You believe what you want to believe. You do what's best for you and your family. I always agree and support with that as far as vaccinations and things. But do your homework, do your research. Do it because you educated yourself on doing it or not doing it. Don't do it because everybody on Facebook or anybody said that's the biggest lesson here that I think
it's a personal choice.
Absolutely.
And all we want from our region, our Southeast region, our number one goal is just to educate people, not to force them or feel like we're twisting their arms or shame them or anything. Yeah. We just want everybody out there to know that the vaccine exists and it's there if you want it. Testing is there if you want it. Yeah. A lot of places in the rest of the state, they're saying that their numbers are low because people don't know. Yeah. And I come back with them, oh, no. Sure. I honestly feel, don't you all agree, that everybody in this region knows that it's available? Sure. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
I guess...
I agree. And I think we've done our job.
Absolutely. What I caution people is... use the New Mexico Department of Health. Talk to your doctor.
That's what you hit the nail on the head.
The same person you go to when your kids get sick, when you get sick, when you have a weird thing on your back, and you're like, "What's that weird thing on my back?" That same person you go for that. Trust them. Why would you trust them with everything else?
Right.
Why would you?
Your life.
And trust them over, I read on a Facebook meme that the vaccine causes you to grow a fourth toe or whatever nonsense they throw out there now. I'm not saying there's risks. There's always risks anytime, medicines happen. But there's a lot of misinformation out there. So rather than you believe the stuff and then when you start reading it and start saying it, you're like, I feel like an idiot for even believing this sometimes. People just get so wrapped up in it and you're like, I heard that aliens. I'm like, you just hear what you said, you believe? Does that sound even like something that you would have kicked yourself in the butt 20 years ago if you said something like that? You know what I mean? Yeah. To go to the places you trust. Utilize, the internet's a great tool. I ain't gonna lie. There's a lot of great things that come off the internet, but there's a lot, everybody has access to it. You in essence, now, remember when we were younger, and there was that one person that just said dumb things, and you're like, oh, they just say dumb things. Well, now they have the access to the internet just like everybody else does, and we don't know them, so we don't know they just say dumb things, and we learn, and next thing you know, so that's what the internet has made all your real life virtually everywhere. So you got to use the same tools you do in your real life to discern whether something's legit or something not on the internet. So that's why I say if you don't know that, go to places you know or trust. New Mexico Department of Health.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Your primary care physician, your doctor. That. These are people that will tell you what they honestly believe is the right thing you should do, and then you can base that information on whether you should get vaccinated or take the next step and whatever you need to do for you and your family,
I cannot go another second without thanking my heroes. Those unsung heroes, the people behind the masks, the nurses. My daughter is a nurse. My other daughter's an OT. She's going to Tyler, Texas to finish up that. And Deanna's going to be a nurse practitioner. Awesome. But you know what? Those people that day to day on those front lines are listening to the anger out there, and they're just trying to do the jobs to the best of their ability. Thank them. Thank all of the people in the department. No, it is not. It's more. It's a calling.
It's a life. They're saving lives.
They are doing the best they can.
They're
every
endangering
day.
their own lives every day.
Yes, and they know that going into it. So, if I could really thank anyone, it would be them right now. The Department of Health and all of those employees work so tirelessly. They wake up every day and go out into the battlefield. Absolutely. And to that, I'm so honored to know them and honored to be able to work alongside them.
Absolutely. And just remember, you have to go to one of these situations and it's busy and crazy and then you get frustrated. Be patient. Trust me, the people that you're venting your frustrations to,
they've heard it.
They've heard it, been there, and they've got it 10 times whatever you're experiencing right now.
Yes, don't yell at them.
So you're kind of I'm not trying to sound mean here, but you're kind of going to get the tiny violins if you start complaining.
Yeah.
Wow, I've only been here since the last 12 hours.
Yeah,
Pound
exactly.
sandwich, you're crumbling. Anyway, sorry.
Okay, now we can get off our soapbox.
Another day here.
And leadership Roswell.
But well, we're about running out of time here. But Laurie, congratulations!
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I can think of nobody more deserving than yourself to get this alumni award, and
I'm blessed.
And I know that in all reality, this is it's not the beginning or end of anything. She's going to keep getting involved and keep doing. It's just a moment to stop and honor her, and we appreciate that. And,
well, you should have scheduled at least an hour.
Maybe even 2.
Yeah.
Maybe 2, yeah.
Yeah. This is true because I like to talk too. So I just figured out a way for someone to pay me to do it. But Laura, I thank you very much.
Thank you.
And Elaine too. I know you're easily as deserving of these awards as you are of giving them out.
Yes, she is.
So for those that don't know, she's been heavily involved with Leadership Roswell for many years.
Absolutely.
Prior to her time with the city and the zoo, but even after that now. And Historical Society is another one. I know you and I do a lot together.
Right.
She's heavily involved, and they're between. It's not uncommon to find her and John digging through a pile of books in the area somewhere back there.
That was fun.
Yeah. And then, of course, Galacticon, all that. And there's many other hats you wear, too. So,
Right.
So
thank you.
Have you won one of these awards before? If not,
I have.
I was about to say you've won one before.
I thought we nominated.
I think Elaine's been one of these here. So
I have.
She's a veteran of these, too. But thank you, Laurie. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming in and spending time with us.
My pleasure. It's been an honor.
All right, Department of Health. She's on her way back to the office now and get back to work here. So. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right. It is 8:54.